Let's start our first news. Jon Jones is once again pushing back against the growing GOAT narrative surrounding Islam Makhachev after the welterweight champion's latest victory over Ian Gary at UFC 330. That performance reignited the debate over the greatest fighter in UFC history, especially after Makhachev added another major accomplishment to his already incredible resume. With his status as a two-division champion and his record-breaking title run, many fans and analysts have started making an even stronger case for Makhachev as the UFC's GOAT. But Jones clearly isn't ready to hand over that title just yet. The former two-division champion recently responded to the conversation after previously pushing back against Daniel Cormier's suggestion that Khabib Nurmagomedov belongs in the GOAT discussion. Jones took to social media and shared a list of fighters with the most UFC title fight victories. He placed himself at number 1 with an impressive 16 wins. Then came the message that caught everyone's attention. Jones wrote, "Hopped on social media and heard there was a new GOAT. I'm so confused. Make it make sense." But he didn't stop there. Jones followed up by asking who fans believe could become the next 16-time world champion. He then added another statement that made his position crystal clear, saying, "You guys thought I was going to just sit there and let you call someone else GOAT?" It's obvious that Jones still believes his accomplishments put him in a class of his own. And with Makhachev continuing to build his legacy, the GOAT debate is only getting more intense. Move on to another news. Khamzat has finally broken his silence following the recent altercation involving his teammate and Namo Fazil. And this time, his message was focused on one thing: peace. In a statement shared online, Khamzat addressed the tension between Chechens and Kurdish Muslims, urging everyone involved not to allow one incident between individuals to create conflict between entire communities. He explained that when something happens between two men, they should handle the situation between themselves, rather than allowing the media to turn it into something much bigger and create division between nations. Khamzat emphasized that Chechens and Kurds are brothers and that they share the same faith as Muslims. Because of that, he believes they should remain united instead of allowing a personal confrontation to create wider tensions. He also made it clear that he was not happy with what happened. At the same time, Khamzat expressed his respect for the Kurdish people, describing them as strong and making it clear that people should understand there can be consequences when someone speaks disrespectfully or crosses a certain line. But perhaps the most interesting part of his statement came when Khamzat spoke about Salahuddin Ayyubi, one of history's most famous Muslim warriors. Khamzat explained that he has enormous respect for Salahuddin Ayyubi, so much so that he chose the name Salahuddin for his brother's son. That personal connection makes his message about unity even more significant. Whatever caused the original confrontation, tensions appear to have escalated quickly enough for Khamzat himself to publicly step in and call for calm. Rather than adding more fuel to the situation, he is now urging both sides to put the differences aside and remember that they are brothers. Move on to another news. Alexander Volkanovski has revealed that his upcoming fight against Movsar Evloev at UFC 333 could potentially determine whether he continues his legendary career or walks away from the sport. Volkanovski is set to defend his featherweight title against Evloev in what is expected to be a major test for the champion. While he currently has no plans to retire, he admitted that the way the fight plays out could have a major impact on his future. Speaking about his career, Volkanovski explained that he still loves getting deep into the details of the sport. Even at this stage of his career, he remains completely focused and highly motivated, and he believes there is something special about being able to stay so dialed in after competing at the highest level for so many years. However, Volkanovski also acknowledged that there is a clear line in his mind. If things go terribly wrong against Evloev, the longtime champion suggested that he could simply decide that enough is enough. He explained that if the fight leaves him heavily damaged or changes the way he feels about continuing, he could look at the situation and say, "All right, we're done." On the other hand, if everything goes well, similar to his previous fight, and he comes through without taking significant damage, Volkanovski says he could keep going. That means his future may depend less on a specific retirement date and more on how his body and performance respond to each fight. For now, Volkanovski insists he is not planning to retire. Instead, he is taking everything one fight at a time and staying realistic about where he is in his career. But if UFC 333 goes badly, the legendary champion has made it clear that retirement could suddenly become a very real possibility. Move on to another news. Arman is making some interesting additions to his training camp ahead of his upcoming fight against Mauricio Ruffi, and it looks like he is taking his preparation to another level. Recent footage from American Top Team has caught attention, showing Arman working alongside Jorge Masvidal and his team. But the most interesting detail may be the way Arman's training partners are preparing him for the specific style of Ruffi. One of Arman's training partners appears to have almost perfectly replicated Ruffi's movements inside the gym. His footwork, movement patterns, and even the positioning of his hands look remarkably similar to what Arman can expect when he steps into the octagon. That kind of preparation could be extremely valuable, especially against a fighter like Ruffi, who relies heavily on movement, speed, and explosive striking. And Arman apparently isn't stopping there. Reports indicate that he has also brought in Giorgio Petrosyan to help sharpen his striking for the matchup. Petrosyan is one of the most respected names in the kickboxing world, with an incredible professional record of 109 wins and just 3 losses. Throughout his career, Petrosyan has competed at some of the biggest kickboxing promotions in the world, including One Championship, Glory, and K1. His experience at the highest level could give Arman another important weapon as he prepares for Ruffi. Petrosyan also shared a photo of himself with Arman at American Top Team, appearing to confirm that he is now involved with the training camp. This is a very interesting addition because Arman knows exactly what kind of challenge awaits him. Ruffi is known for his dangerous striking, explosive combinations, and ability to create damage from different angles. Bringing in an elite kickboxer with Petrosyan's experience could help Arman prepare for those exchanges while improving his own ability to control the striking range. And with Arman already working with training partners who are attempting to replicate Ruffi's style, it's clear that the camp is being built around one specific goal: being ready for everything Ruffi brings into the fight. Arman appears to be leaving no stone unturned, surrounding himself with high-level talent and adding specialized preparation to his camp. Now, all of that work will be tested when the two finally meet inside the octagon. Move on to another news. Max Holloway has made it very clear what he wants next in the UFC, and his options appear to be focused on either another championship opportunity or a massive rematch with Conor. While discussing his future, Holloway revealed that he is no longer interested in simply taking any fight that comes his way. Instead, he wants the kind of matchup that can put him directly in position to compete for another UFC title. Holloway explained that if the UFC offers him a title shot at lightweight or welterweight, he is ready to sign immediately. His message was simple: if there is a championship on the line, he wants to be involved. But if that opportunity doesn't materialize, Holloway has another major fight in mind. He wants to run back his matchup with Conor. Holloway made it clear that if the UFC comes to him with another fight against Conor, he would have no hesitation about signing the contract. That rematch would obviously carry plenty of history, considering their first meeting and the attention surrounding both fighters. But Holloway also brought up something else that he believes he is still owed: the famous money belt. Holloway joked that he has earned the belt associated with his accomplishments and his financial success in the sport, and he wants the UFC to finally send it to him. He explained that he doesn't want to go onto the UFC website and buy his own belt just so he can walk around with it. Instead, he believes the UFC should send it directly to him because, in his words, he earned it. Holloway's comments show that he still has plenty of ambition left, despite being deep into his professional career. He isn't simply looking for another fight to stay active. He wants a matchup that matters, whether that means another run at championship gold or a huge rematch with one of the biggest names he has ever shared the octagon with. For now, Holloway appears to be keeping his options open, but his priorities are clear. A title shot comes first. And if that doesn't happen, the return of the Conor rematch could be the next major chapter in Holloway's UFC career. Move on to another news. Tom Aspinall has opened up about a side of his life that fans rarely get to see, admitting that he struggles to truly switch off and enjoy himself outside the octagon. During a recent podcast appearance, Aspinall explained that even when he gets the chance to relax, his mind immediately goes back to training. What should be a break can quickly turn into anxiety because he starts thinking about other fighters who might be working while he is resting. He admitted that he can go on holiday feeling excited to finally get some time away, but once he arrives, he starts feeling uncomfortable about not training. Aspinall explained that it isn't necessarily because he wants to train at that exact moment. Instead, he feels like he simply cannot relax until he has completed his workout. He described it as a strange feeling that continues to follow him, even when he knows he should be enjoying his time away. For Aspinall, the pressure appears to come from the fear that someone else is out there working harder while he is taking time off. That mindset has become such a major part of his life that it has even made him think about what retirement could eventually look like. The heavyweight contender also discussed how deeply emotions are connected to fighting. Fear, anxiety, pressure, and uncertainty are all part of the sport, and Aspinall believes being honest about those emotions is important. His comments reveal just how difficult it can be for elite fighters to separate their professional lives from their personal lives. Even when the cameras are off and there is no fight scheduled, the competitive mindset doesn't simply disappear. Aspinall's admission is a reminder that the drive that helps fighters reach the top can also make it incredibly difficult for them to rest. For him, training isn't always about motivation anymore. Sometimes it feels like something he has to do before he can finally allow himself to relax. Move on to another news. Max Holloway has delivered some brutally honest criticism of Conor, claiming that the former champion looked slow and old during their latest fight. Holloway didn't hold back when discussing the performance, saying he actually felt bad for the fans who had spent their money to attend such a massive event. According to Holloway, Conor's performance was nowhere near what fans were expecting, especially considering the huge amount of attention surrounding the matchup. Holloway also addressed Conor's comments about the conditions inside the arena. Conor had reportedly suggested that the surface was slippery because of dry ice, but Holloway wasn't buying that explanation. He pointed out that HE didn't fall during the fight, making it difficult for him to understand the argument about the conditions affecting the performance. But Holloway's harshest criticism came when he addressed Conor's description of the fight as a generational beating. Holloway called that claim delusional, arguing that what he experienced inside the octagon was completely different. From Holloway's perspective, Conor simply didn't look like the fighter fans were used to seeing. He said Conor felt slow during the fight, and he also believed he looked old. Holloway went even further, suggesting that if anyone was going to deliver a generational beating, it certainly wasn't going to be Conor. That comment clearly shows how strongly Holloway felt about the performance. Despite the criticism, Holloway also acknowledged the fans who traveled to attend the event and spent significant amounts of money to support the fighters. He said he felt bad for them because of how much anticipation had surrounded the matchup. Holloway even suggested that Conor appeared to have weakened knees from the very beginning, adding another layer to his criticism of the performance. Overall, Holloway's message was simple. Whatever explanations were given afterward, he believes Conor looked nothing like the dangerous fighter fans once knew. And according to Holloway, the performance was far from the generational showing Conor claimed it was.